Welcome back to another episode of Straight to the Point, and today we're talking about the most underrated camera. Fits inside your pocket. We're talking about the iPhone. That's right. Now, if you're like me and you've got a nice setup like this Sony a7R5, I'm looking at 9 times out of 10, I'm going to choose the Sony. But there are instances like my last Miami vlog, I used the iPhone to film it because it's convenient and you can always take the audio and put it into like Adobe Podcast, clean it up. But especially if you're a beginner, kind of tapping into that intermediate realm, I'm going to teach you today the 3 ways to absolutely level up your iPhone filmmaking to go from 0 to hero. Let's get after it. Straight to the point. Come on. Quick side note, I don't care if you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, these tips are going to change and level up everything that you do with an iPhone. Tip number 1, the sexiest one, is, you probably heard of it before, cinematic mode. But what most of you probably haven't tapped into is pressing that little 2x button or the 3x button. I can't tell you the amount of times I've used this, like on our travels when we're on a boat and we're out in the middle of the ocean in Croatia and all I have is an iPhone in my pocket. Well, in order to make it look cinematic and super clean and differentiate myself from just a regular old iPhone video, change it to cinematic mode. All right. So if you don't know where to find this, I'm going to show you. Super easy. You're going to open up your camera app, swipe over to cinematic, and you can bounce back and forth between 1x to 2x, and then you're going to pinch just a little bit and you're going to take it all the way to 3x. You can even go up into, on my phone currently, the way it's tilted is the upper left, and you can change your aperture. You're going to see a little F with a 4.0, and you can kind of move that around to your liking. The lower the number, the more blur you're going to get in that background. And the higher the number, well, the opposite. I like to keep mine at around F4. I don't know, personal preference, I guess. This one move can take any beginner / intermediate from looking like a basic old video to something saucy. And your grandparents are going to look at this thing, think you're the next Spielberg, I promise you. Something like one of these moves, all right? You ready? We got the mic, we got the camera in the background. You're just gonna switch and do like a simple move from the mic over to the camera. It looks good. That's it for tip number 1. We're getting into tip number 2, and this one's for the more intermediate, maybe a beginner, I don't know. You wanna sauce up your videos that much more? I like your style. This one comes from Moment. You got a little snap filter that goes on your phone and the diffusion filter, okay? And you're gonna need a case that is a Moment case that has this little edge on the top there where we're gonna snap this little bad boy in there. All right, I'm gonna show you how we do it. I will also link this down below. Like I said, if you're really looking to sauce up your video that much more, let's get into it. This little filter on the end there is a diffusion filter. What it does and what you're seeing actually now is what I have on the Sony camera is a diffusion filter. It's at 20%, meaning the lights behind me, they're kind of hazy. They make it look a little bit more cinematic. Same thing goes for this. You combine the haze diffusion filter here with the cinematic mode. Oh my God, you're playing with fire. So here's a couple shots just around my office to showcase the little bit of bloom it gives into these lights and adds that much more little depth and smoothness into your videos. That was it for tip number 2. Let's move on to something a little bit more advanced. We're gonna go ahead and pop this bad boy off. We're done with you. Tip number 3, this is Apple ProRes log. And if I'm not mistaken, I think only the Pro versions of the iPhone 15 Pro and the and the iPhone Max have this ability. I might be wrong. Let's look it up. If only we had little black boxes. All the iPhones that are Pro 12 and above. There you have it. I'm going to show you how to access it if you don't know how to already. Let's get into it. So you're going to mosey on down to your settings into the camera. You're going to click on formats. Towards the middle, you're going to see a Pro default, and it should say Pro RAW Max, up to 48 megapixels. Now, here's where things get a little dicey and maybe a little bit more expensive, but actually this was not that expensive. It was super cheap on Amazon. This is a 256 gigabyte little thumb drive that goes in the base of your iPhone. Just goes in like this. Love a good click. And all of your footage is going to be directed into that thumb drive. You click it back into your Mac, you're ready to rock. Now, the reason why this is advanced is when you swipe over and you get into your camera settings and you click on the little Apple ProRes RAW in the upper left, it's gonna make that image look super lifeless, I think is the best terminology I would give it. And so you're gonna need to bring it into your computer and open up Premiere Pro or DaVinci or whatever you're using as an editing software and go ahead and color grade that using a Rec 709 converter, and then go ahead and get crazy. I have used the Rec 709 into this and it actually looks pretty dang good. It's no Sony a7R5 or an FX6, but it looks good nonetheless. And if you're looking to level up that much more, switch over to the Apple ProRes RAW and get you one of these. That was it for this straight to the point episode. I hope you learned something new and you go out and try it. If you like this video, well, hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. I don't have a whole lot of subscribers this day and age, so it makes me feel good. And it lets me know that there's a lot of value in these videos, even if it's just, little tips here and there. It means a lot. And if you're interested, go ahead and destroy that bell. That would be cool too. Don't forget, comment down below as well. There's so much you got to do. Listen, you do whatever's necessary. All right, whatever's calling to you, if it's a subscribe, if it's a like, even if it's a dislike, whatever. Either way, we're way past time. This was supposed to be a straight to the point episode. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace! I gotta stop saying peace. It's so corny. Thanks for watching. Still not good enough. Should we do a Peter McKinnon?